All right, everyone, we're going to try this again, and I have the chat up, so let me know if you jump in here and see what the quality of the stream is. I'm going to wait a few minutes for people to hop on here. So I'm going to wait for some more people to jump on here. It looks like everything is fine now. So hello again, everyone, from People's Bank Park in York. It's 5-0 currently in favor of the York Revolution. The big blows an RBI infield base hit for Jack Kenley in the bottom of the second inning, and Nelly Rodriguez singled off the wall in the right field corner, driving in two. Meanwhile, there were a couple of wild pitches from Silk while we were away, and a double steal pulled off by James Harris and Jack Kenley. So if everyone can let me know how the feed is going. Right now, the YouTube screen says that we are connected very well. So if that is the case, just post that in chat. Meanwhile, we go to the bottom of the third inning. Osmi Gregorio leading off. He struck out looking back in the first inning, and he takes an offering low for a ball one. It's 1-0. 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Revs. They've stranded 3. The Barnstormers, no runs, no hits, no errors with 2 runners left on base. Duke Van Schamen has been dominating so far tonight. The Barnstormers have had a runner on a walk in the first inning, and Trayvon Robinson reached on an error to lead off the second, and then took second on a bad pickoff throw. There's 6 batters in a row retired by Van Schamen since then. Swinging a foul ball back to the screen. And Silk has Gregorio at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So welcome back, everyone. And it looks like the situation may be resolved with the internet. And my understanding is that that was the source of the problem, was the internet. Here at People's Bank Park, the connection for the statistics computer out to the scoreboard went down temporarily. The York broadcast has had a couple of, not necessarily interruptions per se, but places where the stream got a little bit sluggish in the transmission. And it may have to do with the oppressive heat that we are having here in York today and tonight. That gets away, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes on Gregorio with Dundon and Hill to follow. Bottom of the third inning. York leading by 5. I reset everything about 4 times, and finally, it seems that we have found a decent connection here. Time is called at 3 balls and 2 strikes, and the plate umpire, Steve Zwiski, knew to get out of there in a hurry before Silk came through with a pitch. Zwiski's already been hit once tonight. 3-2 in the air right field. Gindel will backtrack away. Caleb turns around and has to play that off the base of the boards. Scooting for second base and sliding in easily with a leadoff double is Osmi Gregorio. Another York batter taking Silk to the right side. A double for Gregorio. Andrew Dundon, the third baseman, will step in. Dundon walked and scored back in the second inning. Five nothing in favor of the Revs, and York tries to add to that here in the third inning. The Barnstormers play very well from behind, but we have seen it lately that there is a limit to how many runs the Barnstormers can be behind before everything goes awry. You look at some of the games lately. When the Barnstormers are in the game, they win. Now, that has been evidenced pretty well most of the time. This club has a decent one-loss record when it's in the game. But there have been games where the Barnstormers simply are not there. We saw a couple of them the weekend before last against Southern Maryland. We saw it last Wednesday night against York at Clipper Magazine Stadium, 12-3. That was 12-1 going into the bottom of the ninth. Gregorio, the runner at second. Here is a 1-1 offering inside and low to Dundon. 2 balls and a strike. And the Barnstormers right now have no one working in the bullpen. 2-1 the count. It looks like at some point here, the internet, and I am hooked up hardwired to the Ethernet here. But it's just not been 100% tonight. Fly ball, right center field, fairly deep. Clark is there. He'll make the catch. And watch this throw. It will be late and cut off by Rendon. Gregorio advancing to third. It's child's play on a ball hit that deep into right center field, but Clark still got off a pretty decent throw. Runner at third with 1 away, and Tyler Hill, the batter. Hill singled into right center field back in the second inning. A flare in that direction that helped to get that inning set up. Now, York with a 6th potential run just 90 feet away. And, in the midst of all of this, Silk has struck out 4 batters for 4 of the 7 outs. They have 7 hits on 10 balls in play. Down low to Hill for a ball. It is 1-0. 5-0 York over the Lancaster Barnstormers. One ball, no strikes. The infield plays in. And Hill will take ball 2. A little too close. Darian Sanford waits on deck. Sanford retired on a popped-up bunt the first time through. So we're glad that miraculously everything got fixed. I seriously did nothing except keep trying to reconnect. Foul ball back. It's 2-1. It may be that the sun went down far enough, whatever was interfering with the internet here. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tyler Hill. Silk comes back, gets him to swing and miss. It is 2-2. York with a run in the first inning, 4 in the second, and Silk working to keep the Revs off the board here in the third inning. 1-2 pitch coming. He got him. Swing and a miss. Hill is gone. Strikeout number 5 for Silk. When somebody like Augie is struggling, and the overall numbers are not good, but he's still striking out basically a batter an inning. You know that there is a building block there. It's just a question of his pitches being consistent. And if he develops that consistency, and there have been a couple games where we've seen it, he's got an opportunity in his baseball career. Foul ball back, it is 0-1. Gregorio, the runner at third base with 2 outs, and the lights coming on here at Peoples Bank Park. Later than one would have expected, the shadows pretty much covering the field now as we're getting later on in the season. By the time it all ends, October 10th, the regular season, we might be starting in the dark. That will be novel. Popped up foul by Sanford, and Silk's ahead at no balls and 2 strikes. I've actually seen batting practice in the dark before games. We hosted back in 1998 in Bowie, one of the 4 cities that we had in the league, a fall developmental league. And it was coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, called the Maryland Fall Baseball League. Sanford lets it go. It's ball 1 high and outside. So the games started up in late September. We finished in November after the time change, after we went back to standard time. And with that, batting practice was in the dark, which was a novel thing to see. The lights were already on. 1-2. Sanford with a chopper. This is a tough play. Up with it, Silk. He's got a gun to throw. He does and gets it there in time. Augie Silk helping himself out defensively. Sanford is retired 1-3. The leadoff double goes to waste for York. One hit, and Gregorio is left over at third base. Perhaps a turning point for the Barnstormers here tonight. We'll go to the fourth. York in the lead by the score of 5-0.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Three innings in the books, and York with the 5-0 lead. Duke Van Schamen hasn't been touched so far tonight. Blake Galen, Kelly Dugan, and Trayvon Robinson will give it a try here in the fourth inning. And the Barnstormers, as I mentioned, they are so used to being behind, taking the first lead only 24 times all season, and yet playing above 500 overall at 34-32. Well, they're 17-7 when they have taken the first lead, and 17-25 when they haven't. And that's a lot of comeback wins, and this club is very good at suddenly exploding at some point later on in the game. Down by 5 here. Galen will lead it off. Blake popped to the second baseman back in the first inning. And we're held up a moment longer before we get this fourth inning underway. Van Schamen ready to go. So is Galen. So is Hill. And the pitch drops in for a called strike. It is 0-1. Blake Alleman, the only Barnstormer who has earned his way on base so far tonight with a first inning walk. Galen foul tips this, and it is 0-2. Hardest hit ball by a Barnstormer tonight. Clea Luis Rondon lined out to the warning track and left, leading off the third inning, going the other way. I thought that had a chance to get to the wall, but Mesa retreated for the catch. Galen bats 0-2 here. Van Schamen to the plate. Blake fends it off, and he will stay alive with a count of no balls and 2 strikes. The Barnstormers will be sending Niall Ball to the plate tomorrow night against veteran Long Island right-hander Vin Mazzaro. Ball coming off some pretty good efforts as of late against Southern Maryland and York. 0-2 to Galen. He reaches out and lifts a fly ball. That will curl foul and out of play down the left side. Galen fighting at 0-2. Van Schamen is in a very good spot tonight, leading by 5, throwing strikes. The Barnstormers hitters have, to this point in the game, been kept off balance. But with the club, you just never know when that switch is going to get flipped, and suddenly they come out and spree some base hits around. Galen jammed, fouls this away. Still 0-2. The longer you keep Van Schamen working, the better off the Barnstormers will be. Galen still in there at no balls and 2 strikes. 3 straight 2-strike foul balls from Blake. Van Schamen ready to go. The pitch is a soft line drive. That's going to be in, and the Barnstormers have their first hit of the ball game. Little flare out into left center field, but it was a great at-bat for Blake Galen. Fighting off good pitches from Van Schamen. Still a halfway decent pitch. Again at 0-2, but Galen able to get enough of it to punch it over the head of the shortstop, Osmi Gregorio. The Barnstormers have their leadoff man on in this fourth inning. Kelly Dugan stands in. Dugan with a harmless fly ball to shallow center field back in the first inning. Trying to follow up Galen's base hit with one of his own and get the Barnstormers ball rolling in the top of the fourth inning. Von Schamann comes set to Dugan. Down and away. It's ball one and no strikes. Infield looking for the double play ground ball. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Dugan takes outside and low. Hill saved another. Tyler Hill has been Duke von Schamann's best friend on more than one occasion tonight. He has saved several from getting through. Kelly Dugan with the edge, 2 balls and no strikes. He has an advantage here. He can look for a pitch that he thinks he can drive, but he gets it and pops it up. Behind shortstop, Osmi Gregorio will give way to Melky Mesa, the left fielder, in for the grab. Dugan not able to advance Galen here in the fourth inning, bringing on Trayvon Robinson, who reached on an error his first time up. Lancaster can't seem to gain any traction here tonight. Again, on Tuesday, they couldn't get anywhere until the 8th inning, and then they broke loose for 5 runs in the final 2 innings. Obviously, they need to do more than that here tonight. Runner at first base with 1 out as Robinson stands in. Galen gets a throw from von Schamann. He's back with a slight amount of room to spare. Ladarius Clark, the on-deck batter for the Barnstormers. Here's the set, and to Robinson. He lays off a breaking ball and gets ball 1 outside. 1-0 here. $5-0 lead for the York Revolution. 1 out, 1 on here, and Robinson gets ball 2. Von Schamann has been slightly erratic to the past couple of hitters. Hill has, on more than one occasion, saved a wild pitch. The Barnstormers would love to be able to get Galen into scoring position. Hill has not allowed it. He's put up the stop sign on a couple of occasions. To Robinson, hard hit ground ball, base hit right field. Galen had to stop to let it get through, so he will park at second. Robinson is on, and Ladarius Clark will bat with 2 runners ahead of him as the Barnstormers come to life in the 4th inning. 2 on with 1 out. You don't have to get all the way back in the 4th, but it would certainly help the Barnstormers' cause tonight to get 1 or 2 out of this and establish a presence in the game. Galen at second, Robinson at first, Clark the batter, with Anthony Peroni waiting on deck. Von Schamann comes set. Clark takes a breaking ball low. 1-0. Ladarius, 4 homers, 14 runs batted in against York on the season. They are well aware of what this guy can do with a bat in his hand. 1-0. Clark will swing at this and foul it right straight down at home plate. Ball 1, strike 1. To Ladarius Clark. 2 singles in the inning around the shallow pop fly to left. Clark trying to take advantage of an opportunity here. Fairly decent opportunity. Galen off second, Robinson off first. 1-1 strike to Ladarius, and von Schamann with an off-speed pitch is off the mark. 2 balls and a strike. Southern Maryland leads Long Island 4-0 through 2.5. Bottom of the third, West Virginia and Gastonia tied at 1, and Lexington trails High Point 3-2 in the third inning. 2-1 on Clark. Von Schamann to the plate, and this ball is punched out to right field. Coming on is Harris. He'll make the catch, and nobody can go anywhere. Second out, and now it's all up to Peroni. He grounded to short on a nice play by Gregorio back in the second inning. Von Schamann has thrown 63 pitches so far tonight. Actually, I guess it's just 62. They hadn't posted the last out with 62 pitches. But it is 62 for him. Silk has thrown 78 through 3 innings. This inning now is in the hands of Peroni. Von Schamann will work out of the stretch. Peroni takes a good breaking ball to the inside corner, a called strike. It is 0-1. Von Schamann does not walk many. He does not strike out many. He gets, when he's on, a lot of mishit balls, and that's been his career. To Peroni, 0-1. This is a line drive just clearing Kenley, a base hit into right center field. Coming around is Galen. He will score. To third goes Robinson. Anthony Peroni, with his 20th run batted in of the season, makes it a 5-1 ball game and brings on Nick Shumpert. This Barnstormers catching tandem doesn't hit for the highest average I've ever seen, but they're very adept at driving in runs between them. De La Rosa and Peroni have knocked in almost 60 on the season. The total now for the catching tandem is 56. There have been a few occasions where they've both been in the lineup when Peroni was forced to play third for a while. First and third with 2 outs. Here's Shumpert. He takes a strike. Von Schamann ahead 0-1. Now the Barnstormers at least are on the board here in the 4th inning. That is big for the team's psyche. Shumpert will try to add to it. Robinson leads off third. Peroni off first. Clea Luis Rendon is on deck. When Schamann comes set, Peroni takes off. The pitch is inside, and Peroni will get a stolen base as Hill was unwilling to make a throw with Robinson looming at third. So first stolen base of the year for Peroni, and the Barnstormers now have 2 men in scoring position. And a base hit could bring this team back within 2. The Barnstormers have a start here in this 4th inning. Shumpert trying to pick up at least one more, but he swings wildly and misses there, fooled terribly on a breaking ball from Von Schamann. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shumpert the first time up slapped a grounder off the glove of Von Schamann. It tipped very nicely for York, right to the second baseman Kenley for the 1-4-3 conversion. Shumpert bats at 1-2 with runners at second and third. The motion and the pitch, down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. York 5, Lancaster 1 here in the top of the 4th inning. This is a big moment in this game. Shumpert awaiting the 2-2. Von Schamann ready to deliver. Ball 3 is in the dirt, and again, Hill saves it. A lot of trust between these two developing. Shumpert, though, has worked the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A walk would load the bases. A base hit could bring the Barnstormers back within 2. Rendon waiting on deck for the Barnstormers, and he could have a big chance in this 4th inning. It's up to Shumpert. 3-2 is on the way, and Nick hits a ground ball foul along the third baseline. It almost hit Robinson. It would have been a dead ball if it had, and that's why you lead off in foul territory. It hurts just as much if you're in foul territory, but at least you're not out. Schumpert batting at 3-2 still. Van Schamen has had to work a lot harder this inning than in the first three. And to Schumpert, the payoff pitch is actually hit him. It was inside. He goes to first one way or the other. And the Barnstormers have them loaded for Clay Luis. Rendon lined to deep left field his first time up. He's trying to pick up some runs now. The Barnstormers well aware that suddenly they are in this game. Robinson at third, Peroni at second. Schumpert is now aboard at first. Rendon stepping in. He's 3 for 6 with the bases loaded on the season. As a team, the Barnstormers hitting just shy of 400 with the bases loaded. Well, they are full for Rendon. Caleb Gindel waiting on deck. Van Schamen ready to go. And Rendon, a beautiful first pitch. Breaking ball across, and it's 0-1. Lancaster now with 3 hits off of Van Schamen. He's walked one and now hit a batter. Big moment for the Barnstormers in this 4th inning. 1 strike to Clay Luis Rendon. Hill sets the target. And the next offering is taken for strike 2 right at the knees. Van Schamen with a couple of great pitches with his back to the wall here in the 4th inning. 0-2 on Rendon. So it is Cleu's turn to try and fight back now. Galen started the inning, falling behind in the count 0-2, and eventually working out a leadoff single. To Rendon, that's in the dirt. Once again, Hill saves a run. Tyler Hill has been brilliant defensively so far tonight. Ball 1 and 2 strikes to Rendon. This could so easily be a 5-2 game now, or even more so. But Hill has managed to stop everything, and it's been dealt into the dirt. Rendon bats at a ball and 2 strikes. Barnstormers lead from everywhere. Duke Van Schamen comes set, and Rendon, it's fouled to the screen, and the inning will continue. Not a bad swing from the Barnstormers shortstop there. He battles at 1 and 2. Lancaster had only 2 base runners in the first 3 innings. They've had 4 men reach here in the 4th. Rendon is the 7th batter of the inning. 1-2. Rendon with a chopper to second. Kenley will handle it, and he'll make the short throw. It's dropped at second base, and the throw misses first. And this is going to bring in a second run as Peroni slides home. What on earth was that? Kenley fed Gregorio, who dropped it. He still had a play on Rendon and missed with that throw. And the Barnstormers are within 2 runs on some peculiar defense. It is shades of Tuesday night in the 8th inning. Caleb Gindel will step in. That is a complicated ruling. They still had a play at first, though somewhere Gregorio gets charged with an error on that play, whether it's on the throw, the drop, or arguably both. Rendon is moved to second. The Barnstormers have the tying runs in scoring position. Schumpert ahead to third, Rendon at second, and Caleb Gindel with a base hit can tie things up. Hill is out having a conversation with Van Schamen. Well, that was hardly his fault. Same occurred the other night to Isaac Sanchez, who was charged with a blown save without ever doing anything wrong. York was charged with 2 errors on that play. The dropped toss to second, and then the bad throw. 4 errors in the game. Here is Gindel looking for his first hit of the series, and this would be a very timely spot for it. To Gindel, swinging a high fly ball, left center field, racing back is Sanford, That is going to be caught by Sanford on the track before he scales the wall at just about full speed. And that is the advantage of having a Darian Sanford out there. He was able to run that one down. Otherwise, we've got a tie game. The Barnstormers are back with 3 runs in the inning, 3 hits. There were 2 errors and 2 runners left in scoring position. So defense allows the Barnstormers back in the game, and then the York defense keeps the Barnstormers from tying it. So we go to the bottom half of the 4th. It is now York 5 and Lancaster 3.
When everyone has a different craving, Wegmans Meals to Go has it all. All right now, all in one delivery. Pizza with the kids' favorite toppings, a delicious sub made the way you love, fresh sushi for the whole group, and so much more. It's how busy people get busy eating the meals they love. Order on the Meals to Go app or at mealstogo.com to make everyone happy. Wegmans Meals to Go. All your favorite meals, all in one delivery.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries, plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Now the Barnstormers are within 2. Silk facing the top of the York lineup as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 4 York errors already tonight. 2 charged to Gregorio, 1 to Kenley, and 1 to Van Schamen. Lancaster able to take advantage of the last 2. They really had 2 shots at getting that final out, and they missed on both of them. Now Harris, the right fielder, leading off the bottom half of the 4th inning. Harris has walked and struck out so far tonight. This ties the most errors committed against the Barnstormers in a game this season. It has occurred on 2 other occasions. York has made a mess of it defensively in this series. And the first pitch outside to Harris for a ball 1-0. Now it's important for Silk to throw a scoreless inning. And preferably a quick one, because Van Schamen was out there for a good while in this sweltering heat in the top of the 4th, but now Silk falls behind 2-0. The left-hander ready to go, and his pitch bouncing free from Peroni, and a 3-0 count. And Peroni got clipped by that one. 3 balls, no strikes at the outset of the lower 4th. Steve Zawiski walking a new baseball out there to Augie as Anya Holmberg now checks in on Anthony Peroni. I don't know how those catchers do it. Ross Peoples out to look at him as well. And this, as I watch it down there, is concussion protocol, it appears. Looks like that pitch from the way Anya is looking at Anthony came back up and may have gotten him underneath the mask. In the throat or the jaw, perhaps. It didn't look like it bounced that high, but that's what they're pointing to. Ross and Anya checking in. And if Anthony Peroni looks at Anya and looks at Ross, you could get vertigo just from that shift. There's got to be about a 14-inch height difference there, I would think. 3-0, the count on James Harris, and some concern toward the Barnstormers catcher. I think as I look down there, the more I watch the proceedings, it may be that Anthony cut his lip on that. He's washing out his mouth. He might be bleeding a little bit. No, he's going to stay in there. But that, everything, they were checking his jaw, his mouth area. And then he took a couple of sips of water and spat. 3 balls and no strikes on James Harris. It's another quick night at the ballpark, have you noticed? We're just flying through this. 3-0. And Harris will take ball 4. He's on with a walk for the second time tonight. That is the third base on balls given up by Silk. Jack Kenley, the batter. Kenley with 2 singles so far. The last one off the glove of first baseman Kelly Dugan. Lancaster has crawled back into the game with a lot of help. The first run was very earned, 3 singles. The Barnstormers loaded the bases, and then there was that extremely messy play on the Rendon ground ball to Kenley. Kenley didn't make any mistakes this time. It was all Gregorio. And now Kenley at the plate, and Silk can't find the zone. He is low for a ball. It's 1-0. Now, trouble brews in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Cameron Gann, the latest arrival with the Barnstormers, warming up in the bullpen, ball 2. It's 2-0. Andres Mesa made that last catch on Gendel. It looked like Sanford did, but they did get there. Ball had a chance to get into the gap and tie the game. To Kenley now. Ball 3 is outside. Silk has missed with all 7 pitches here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Three and 0. There's a strike. Augie finally gets one in the zone. He goes to 3-1 on Kenley with Melky Mesa waiting on deck. The motion, the 3-1. He is off the plate, and that's back-to-back walks to start the 4th inning on just 9 pitches. Does that have anything to do with the length of the top of the inning? Ross is on his way. Not sure if he's going to make the change here or wait another batter. Cameron Gann was in AAA with the Arizona Diamondbacks club in Reno earlier this season. Oh, Ross is out there. He has not asked for the baseball as of yet. Runners at first and second with nobody out in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Discussions continue. Ross may be stalling for a little bit more time or trying to nurse Augie through at least one more batter, and that's the route he's going to go here. Trying to show some faith in this recent convert to the age of 23. Augie Silk. Melky Mesa steps in. Mesa is 1 for 2 in the ball game here tonight. Silk was able to wiggle out of last inning with Gregorio leading off on a double. Got the third, and that was it. First and second here, Mesa trying to drive in some runs, and instead he skies this into the twilight. Clark seems to have a beat on it out in center. He'll make the catch. Bluffing off second is Harris, and he draws another fairly impressive throw from Ladarius. First and second with 1 out. Silk able to get through Mesa, and now Nelly Rodriguez will step in. Rodriguez already has 3 runs batted in tonight. He singled into left field in the first inning to drive in Kenley from third, and then singled off the wall in right to knock in Harrison Kenley in the second inning. First and second with 1 man retired. Again, the Barnstormers have Galen up second in the top half of the 5th inning, and Dugan behind him. They'd like to keep both those bats in there tonight, but Silk has to finish this inning for that to happen. First pitch strike on Rodriguez. It is 0-1. That's some of the intrigue that the double hook rule creates in a game. That's what it was intended to do. But I think it's really a lot more conducive to major league rosters. I don't know if they'll ever get together on that one at the major league level. It's a compromise. Throw behind the lead runner at second by Peroni after the pitch was in the dirt. Harris is able to get back. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nelly Rodriguez, batting in the bottom of the 4th in a 5-3 game led by York. It's a compromise between having the DH and not having the DH. You have a DH as long as your starter is in the game. There are pros and cons to it, certainly. But it does put you in situations like this. You want to leave the starter in there to get through the inning. That's the whole idea, is to keep the starting pitcher in the game longer and not knee-jerk and go to the bullpen. 2-1, high and outside, 3 balls and a strike. And that's going to especially come into play at the Major League. Think about the Major League postseason where, my gosh, they're pulling starters after 2 innings, giving up nothing just for matchups. They had to change the complexion of the game. 3-1, and Nelly Rodriguez picks up the 3rd walk of this inning. 5 on the night for Augie Silk through 3 1/3. Ross is on his way. Wellington Dotel is going to face Cameron Gann. Silk will depart after 3 1/3 innings. You just want to see Augie be able to fully put it back together and be where he was 3 or 4 weeks ago. He was pitching really well. He pitched a 6-inning shutout against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. That's not all that long ago, but this is the 4th straight start where he has had to exit somewhat early. Now the Barnstormers go to their latest arrival. They've used 30 or more pitchers on the season. Cameron Gann will try and get Lancaster out of trouble here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bases are loaded with 1 out, and we will be back with Cameron Gann right after this.
Hey, $2 bill here, AKA the rare one. Problem is, I'm so rare, people just saved me. But thanks to the new Cash Vibe with Quick Cash from the PA Lottery, I'm back in business. For just $2, you can get bigger jackpots starting at $150 grand. Plus Quick Cash, a chance to instantly win $2 or $6. Haha, it's good to be wanted.
Play Cash 5 with Quick Cash from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Well, the Barnstormers have been on the lookout to improve this pitching staff, and the latest new arrival, this is, I guess, almost like America's Got Talent or American Idol or something this year. As far as Lancaster's pitching is concerned, just taking a look at everybody that comes along. Cameron Gann pitched at Stephen F. Austin in Texas. He is from Texas, from Crandall, Texas. Stephen F. Austin is in Nacogdoches, by the way. I love saying Nacogdoches, so I had to throw it in there. He has been as high as AAA Reno. He was there earlier this year for 20 appearances. Cameron is 28 years of age, 6 feet tall, and 203 pounds. Wellington Dotel will be the first Atlantic League hitter he faces. And Gann inherits loaded bases with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. So either the Barnstormers stay in this game or York is going to open up a decent-sized lead again just after the Barnstormers were able to put 3 runs on the scoreboard in the top half of the 4th inning. Harris, Kenley, and Rodriguez all take their leads. Gann's first pitch is bounced toward the middle. Rendon there, takes it to the bag, floats at the first, double play. One pitch, and Cameron Gann has the Barnstormers out of a potentially really bad inning in the bottom half of the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. How's that for a debut performance in the Atlantic League? One pitch, you get 2 outs, you get your club out of an inning, and send us to the 5th with the score, York 5 and Lancaster 3.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries, plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
This is the sound of the kind of thrill ride summer was made for. Here's the sound of another one. At the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, you'll find great deals on our entire line of performance vehicles. Strap in, then hold on tight.
Lease the 2021 RX 350 all-wheel drive for $469 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing.
See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Call 1-800-USA-LEXUS for important lease offer and pricing details. Not all customers will qualify. Offer valid in Lexus Eastern area only and ends August 2nd, 2021.
Well, the Barnstormers are down by a pair as we go into the 5th inning. Blake Allemond will lead off for Lancaster here, and I'm trying to peek around the in-house camera to see who that is in the on-deck circle, because Blake Galen, the designated hitter, would be out, and I didn't see him grab a glove, so I've got to believe that is Gann on deck, and he will be bunting if Allemond reaches base here to start off the 5th. Duke Van Schamen still working with a 2-run lead. His pitch to Van Schamen is inside and low, or to Allemond rather. Blake has walked and struck out. 1-0. Van Schamen winds, fires, and Allemond hits this into the nighttime sky, curling foul and out of play down the left side. 1-1. Gann has batted twice in his professional career, and he has struck out both times. Does not offer a whole lot of promise for what comes next. They bat, I believe, starting at AA now in the National League organizations when they play each other. It's been that way for a while. 1-1. And Allemond again with a fly ball to the left side. This toward the line. Coming on is Mesa in fair territory. He gloves it for out number 1. Van Schamen has allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, just one of those earned. With a walk and 2 strikeouts, he's pitched very well so far tonight. Gann steps in. Galen is finished for tonight at 1 for 2 with a run scored. Kelly Dugan, the first baseman, is on deck. To Gann, a called strike. It is 0-1. Lancaster down by 2. Certainly could have gotten worse in the bottom of the 4th. Gann came on and slammed the door shut with the double play ground ball. He puts it in play, grounding it to first. Nelly Rodriguez takes to the bag for out number 2. But at least contact. Dugan will step in. He's 0 for 2 on short fly balls tonight. Lancaster still with ground to cover in this ball game, but you have to feel a good deal better after the events of the 4th inning, and really bottom of the 3rd and the entire 4th. The momentum shifted. Popped up by Dugan, foul territory. Dundon coming over, Hill giving it a look, but that's in the seats. 1 strike to Kelly. Trayvon Robinson waits on deck. Robinson's been a runner both times tonight. The Barnstormers now have to work around their DH being out. They have a lengthy bench as long as it's been all year. Next delivery catches the outside corner right on the edge, and Dugan bats at 0-2. So you're likely to see Torrance and Hoover tonight, I would guess. Maybe De Aza, depending on the situation. Foul ball back. 0-2, still on Dugan. And the last guy to be used would be De La Rosa, because you always want to have that second catcher available just in case. 0-2 to Dugan with 2 outs, nobody on. Here in the top of the 5th, Kelly played to hit to the opposite field by Sanford. He's got a tremendous amount of room toward right center. And the pitch wasted in the dirt. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Von Schaman giving his ball club an effort, maybe in general better than his average outing so far this season. You take away the errors in the 4th inning, and the Barnstormers just score 1. Outside, 2-2 on Dugan. The one walk in 4 2/3 innings is not unusual, as we have a flock of ducks sail by overhead. But the 3 hits is very low for him. That's in the dirt, and 1 gets away from Hill, but no harm done here. 3-2. Isaac Sanchez pops up off a chair down in the York bullpen. I don't know if that means anything or not. It doesn't appear to. Payoff pitch to Dugan, and he works out the walk. Second issued by Von Schaman here tonight, and it gives the Barnstormers a little bit of a crack in the door. 2-out walk. We'll see if that can lead to anything. Robinson steps in. He's reached on an error, and he's singled into right. Well, that bullpen bench is now definitely stirring for the York Revolution. It looks like Lennon Rodriguez has started to play catch with someone. Robinson bats with Dugan at first and 2 outs. The set and the pitch. Trayvon with a broken bat liner right at Nelly Rodriguez. Easy catch. It ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the Barnstormers leave 1. We are halfway through regulation tonight, 4.5 in the books, and York leading by the score of 5-3.
We are finally back enjoying Barnstormers baseball. I'm Adam Gocknauer from Gocknauer Appliances and thrilled to be sponsoring Barnstormers baseball yet again. We also wanted to thank all of you for your incredible support for our business during the pandemic. We are so happy to still be here helping you with the best brand names and the best prices of major appliances in the area. Enjoy the game, and we will continue to service you now and into the future. Gocknauer Appliances in East Petersburg and on the web at gocknauers.com.
New to Clipper Magazine Stadium in 2021 is Otto's Hospitality. Otto's is totally committed to the fan experience, from quality to convenience to safety. And they are committed to Lancaster, using local food purveyors whenever possible. New menu items like homemade Brauhaus pretzels, Black Angus burgers, and Otto's meatballs are sure to make any Barnstormers game even more fun. Use self-ordering kiosks or your phone instead of waiting in the lines. That's Otto's Hospitality.
Well, the Yankees and White Sox are in heaven, or is it Iowa tonight, the Field of Dreams game. I think if you're a fan of that movie at all, and I certainly am, you have to love that idea of actually building a baseball diamond in rural Iowa. Build it, and they will come. Hopefully the fans have, as well as the Yankees and the White Sox, for a very novel idea, but I think one worth having. James Earl Jones, in that movie, gave what, in my mind, is one of the great acting performances ever. I love that Terrence Mann character, the curmudgeon that he was, and eventually finding new life in that diamond in Iowa after Fenway Park. Such a wonderful film. And, of course, his soliloquy written into the script, and he delivered it flawlessly because the man, after all, might have the greatest speaking voice of all time. Foul ball back, 0-1 on Osmi Gregorio. I've always been a James Earl Jones fan anyway, but that was his performance in that movie just blew me away. Burt Lancaster, Moonlight Graham. 0-1 to Osmi Gregorio. Cameron Gann into the motion. Fastball met and fouled away. It's 0-2. Gann threw one pitch and got Augie Silk out of trouble in the fourth inning. Silk 3 1/3 tonight, 7 hits, 5 runs all earned. With 5 walks and 5 strikeouts, he threw 2 wild pitches. Bottom half of the fifth now, and it's 5-3 in favor of the York Revolution. Swing and a miss. Gregorio, for the second time tonight, went chasing pretty badly up and away. Perhaps a weak spot the Barnstormers have found. 1 out, and Andrew Dundon will come to the plate. Dundon has walked and flied to center. 0-for-1 officially. He has crossed the plate once. And the Phillies won today. 2-1. Listen to the end of that game in the York radio station studios over here at the ballpark because it was cooler in there. No balls and 1 strike to Dundon. Gann kicks, brings it home. The breaking ball just misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyler Hill is on deck. Hill's had a great game on defense. Gann's 1-1 offering, swung on and missed. Good-looking fastball. It is 1-2. And the Barnstormers may have found themselves something in Cameron Gann. Russ isn't entirely sure how he's going to use Gann either. Fouled out of play to the right, still 1-2. You've got an experienced right-hander who's been in 151 professional games prior to tonight, all out of the bullpen. But he was a starter in college. Ball 2, low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So he could become the 7th inning reliever. He could go long, or he might fill in one of the starting slots. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch is high, and Dundon has worked it to a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes here. Gann with the payoff. It's popped up. That gets out of play. Still 3-2 on Dundon, batting with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Barnstormers 4-2 in the second half, trying to improve upon that. York off to a 1-5 start. Here's a payoff, fouled away again. York's in a situation they could get a wild card spot, but it's not terribly likely because they have so many teams they would have to pass. I think if they play well enough in the second half to get a wild card, they are likely to win the division. 3-2, still to Dundon. Gann deals and walks him. The 6th walk issued by Lancaster pitching in the game. Tyler Hill stepping in, 1 out of 2. Elsewhere in Atlantic League play tonight, Southern Maryland 6-0 over Long Island in the top of the 6th. West Virginia leads Gastonia. Both those clubs off to 5-2 starts in the second half. It's 4-3 in favor of the Power. Play is in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and through 4.5, Lexington 4 and High Point 3. 1 out and 1 on. Dundon aboard on the free pass. A long one at that. First pitch gets away from Peroni, but not far, and Dundon will not move. Ball 1, no strikes, and all of a sudden, Cameron Gann having trouble getting the ball in the zone. 1 out. Dundon, the runner at first, not out to a big lead as he's held by Dugan. Balk is charged, and that will send Dundon to second. Well, the Barnstormers were charged with a critical balk on Friday night against Tyler Laporte on what would have been the last out in the 8th inning. And now another balk moves Dundon to second base and takes away the chance at a double play. Moves a runner into scoring position. Tyler Hill, meanwhile, is batting at 1-0. And the only thing you could surmise there is that he didn't come to a full stop or started, stopped, and started again, swing and a miss, as Laporte did. Or it may have been started, stopped, and started again. And the case with Laporte back on Friday. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hill. Darian Sanford is on deck. 5-3 York, bottom half of the 5th inning from Peoples Bank Park. Gann looking back to second. Here's the pitch, popped up and foul out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tonight's game has had a total of 10 hits, and there have been 8 walks. Tuesday night, we had just 12 hits, and there were 15 walks in that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at second, 1 out. Breaking ball, and Hill able to chop that foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes continuing. And again, you can't just look at one game. People would watch what we've seen in this series so far and say, well, moving the mound back doesn't work. You can't just look at a game or two. You've got to look at the overall scope. And the overall scope of the last week, there really hasn't been any kind of discernible difference before the start of the second half or after. Swing and a miss at the high fastball. Down goes Hill. Second strikeout for Cameron. And Darian Sanford, 0 for 2 in the game, will step in. Barnstormers with Clark, Peroni, and Schumpert scheduled. And it looks like they're going to face Alberto Rodriguez in the 6th inning. And that will cost the Revolution their designated hitter, Dotel. Gann goes to work on Sanford. He busts the first pitch high and outside. It is 1-0. And once again tonight, we're beyond 2 hours, still playing the 5th inning. We've had a couple of quirky slowdowns, like the injury. It looked like to Peroni's mouth, perhaps. Fastball is a strike, 1-1. And I think he might have bit his lip or his tongue, as I was watching Anya tend to him down along the third baseline. To Sanford, 1-1. He reaches out with the bat and knocks a foul behind Noel Polanco in the coach's box at third. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Darian. 42 stolen bases this year. He was caught by Anderson De La Rosa here on Tuesday night. 9th time he's been thrown out. He leads the league in both. .243 steals as an Atlantic leaguer. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gann kicks, fires, breaking ball, chop back toward the hill. Gann has the play and makes it to first. Sanford retired on a comebacker for the 2nd AB in a row. Gann walks 1 and then balks him to second, but he's through it here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. On to the 6th inning we go, with York still in the lead at 5-3.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
Come to the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event for great deals on our full line of vehicles, each with our advanced standard safety technology like pedestrian detection.
Lease the 2021 IS300 all-wheel drive for $379 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing.
See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Pre-collision system with pedestrian detection is not a substitute for safe and attentive driving practices. See owner's manual for additional limitations and details. Call 1-800-USA-LEXUS for important lease offer and pricing details. Not all customers will qualify. Offer valid in Lexus Eastern area only and ends August 2nd, 2021.
Right-hander Alberto Rodriguez takes over in the 6th inning. It's been a week of some sad news. I mentioned the other day the passing of Susan Wise, Rick's wife of, I believe it was 54 years, and my heart just bleeds for Rick. You think of him as the no-hit thrower, the longtime major league starting pitcher, and he could be quite the character. But underneath all of that, underneath the baseball player bravado, underneath the jokester that he could be, was a guy whose emotions ran very, very deep. And my heart just goes out to Rick and the loss he has experienced. Susan was recovering from surgery. I don't know what went wrong. And she unfortunately passed on Saturday. And then earlier today, I was apprised of the passing of Neil Conan. Now, if you don't know who Neil Conan is, if you weren't a listener of National Public Radio, because that's where he certainly made a name for himself, is the host of the midday call-in show there. But Neil also wrote the book on the Atlantic League. Back in about 2001, 2002, that came out. Ladarius Clark takes ball one outside and low from Alberto Rodriguez. 1 ball and no strikes. He was the voice of the Aberdeen Arsenal for their 1 year in the Atlantic League in 2000, and he wrote a book about that. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed by Clark. It's 1-1, which, by the way, was Maryland baseball or opening day partners' first actual venture into the Atlantic League. They had a team in Aberdeen. They were supposed to get the stadium built. It never happened until Cal Ripken was able to put the deal together for the Ironbirds. Ball 2 is high, 2-1. And the Ripkens were, to some degree, if I remember correctly, involved in the Arsenal venture. 2 balls and 1 strike, and Neil called those games and wrote about his experiences dealing in the Atlantic League, a league that's over the last 21 years since Neil was the voice of the Arsenal has come a long way. But it was fun back then. I did one of the games with Neil from Harford Community College after the Bowie Bay Sox season ended. 3-1. Ball 4 is inside. Ladarius is on to start the 6th inning. Duke Van Schamen tonight threw 90 pitches over 5 innings. He pitched well. 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned. Walked 2, struck out 2, and hit a batter. Defense let him down with the bases loaded in the 4th inning. Anthony Peroni steps in. He has the lone Barnstormers RBI tonight. 1 out of 2 in the game. Leadoff man is on in Clark, and we'll see if he decides to run here. 14 for 14, stealing bases. Rodriguez to the set. Clark takes off. The pitch is outside. The throw by Hill has no chance. Kenley did a nice job to save it from center field. Clark had an enormous jump on Alberto Rodriguez, and Ladarius now has been safe on all 15 stolen base attempts on the year. He loves to go on the first pitch after he reaches base, and he did it again tonight. Peroni up there at ball 1 and no strikes. Shumpert on deck, and then Rendon. Lancaster looking to at least lop 1 more off the York lead here in the 6th inning. Pitch is over to Peroni, 1-1. Clark looked for a second like he was going to go. Stayed away from it. It's ball 1 and strike 1 on Anthony Peroni. Lancaster with 3 chances to bring in Clark. And, of course, you've got the speed out there. 1-1. Peroni pops this up. This isn't going to accomplish anything. So Clark might have to take third on his own. The second baseman, Kenley, with the catch. Nick Schumpert will come to the plate. He's grounded out and been hit by a pitch. Clark might now be thinking about taking third on his own accord. Left-hander Brandon Fry has started to tune up in the bullpen for the Revs. He struck out the side in the 7th inning here on Tuesday night. Could expect him for the top of the 7th, if not earlier. Clark bounces off second to Schumpert. It's outside. And ball 1. That would have been a great pitch on which to be running because Hill would have been in terrible shape to get off a throw to third with a breaking ball forcing him to reach to the backhand. 1 ball and no strikes. Clark not going anywhere, and that is taken for a strike on the outer edge. Schumpert bats at 1-1. Barnstormers trailing by 2 here in the top of the 6th inning. The offense, again tonight, is sluggish. Only 1 hit in the first 7 innings before an explosion here on Tuesday. Just 3 singles in this one. Schumpert late on the swing and a slider that broke back across the plate. It's 1-2. Rendon is on deck. Schumpert bats at 1-2. Time is called. And the 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss at the slider again. Schumpert is gone on strikes. And the fans will get their Mott sticks. Promising start to this inning, but now it is left up to Rendon. Back in the 2nd, Trayvon Robinson was at second base with nobody out. Lancaster did not move him. 5-3, York leading. The Barnstormers have just 7 hits in this series. They have been able to put them together in the same inning, so they're not really spread out, and by bunching them, they've been able to score, and Tuesday night it was enough. Rendon with a swing and a miss here. It is 0-1. But Lancaster now 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position tonight. Rendon trails by a strike. Clark leads off second. That pitch gets away. It kicks back out toward Hill, but no chance for a play at third. Wild pitch, and Ladarius Clark is now 90 feet away. First one that's gotten away from Tyler Hill. He's been fantastic tonight, especially working with Van Schamen. Alberto Rodriguez on the mound. Nelly Rodriguez is the first baseman. Lennon Rodriguez is their other catcher. So at some point, you could conceivably have an all-Rodriguez double play turned by the Revs. It hasn't happened, I'm told. 1-1. Angles back to the outside corner. Rendon trails 1-2, and that slider has been golden for Alberto Rodriguez, the one-time road warrior. He has Rendon and the Barnstormers down to a final strike here in the 6th inning. 1-2. Will he go back to that pitch? He does, and it's swung on and missed. Almost unhittable here in the 6th inning with that slider. No runs, no hits, no errors. Clark is stranded at third. We're through 5.5. It is still York 5 and Lancaster 3.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, Local Flavor. Localflavor.com, Local Flavor.
For the youth of our area, the Barnstormers are offering a wide variety of camps throughout the summer to teach everyone some tips on baseball and softball. Camps are offered to kids as young as 4 and as old as 12. Some even involve the parents. They run from June 15 all the way through August 28. For more information, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the Clinics tab. All presented by Orthopedic Associates of Lancaster.
Barnstormers and York Revolution go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cameron Gann remains on the hill. He has faced 5 batters, and he's gotten 5 outs. Got a double play on his very first pitch. Had to work around a walk and a balk last inning. James Harris starting off the home half of the 6th inning. So here we are with Harris leading off the 6th. Defense straight away. York still ahead by 2. Harris strikeout, walk across his line tonight. First pitch strike from Gann on the breaking ball. It is 0-1. Gann fires down and away. Ball 1, strike 1. Barnstormers head to Long Island in the morning, a longer trip for York. They pedal on down to North Carolina, taking on Gastonia for a weekend series. Second strike on the outer edge. It's 1-2. Kenley and Mesa will follow in this bottom half of inning 6. 7 hits, all off the starter Silk. York has left 7 base runners in the game. Foul ball into the net. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Barnstormers have actually stranded 6. It doesn't seem like they've had that many base runners, but a couple have reached on errors to add to the totals. 1-2. Swung on and missed. Peroni will lay the tag on Harris, who waved the white flag. Cameron with his 3rd strikeout. Jack Kenley coming in. Kenley has not been retired tonight. He has been a very tough out for the Barnstormers since he popped up in the York starting lineup. He's 17 out of 38 in the season series, and that translates to 447. 1 out, nobody on. Gann facing Kenley. Cameron brings it home and finds the inside corner with a slider. It is 0-1. We have seen some great relief work from Gann and Rodriguez so far in this one. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss, fastball past him. It is now 0-2. Breeze tonight is blowing out toward left field. We have not at all seen it come into play. The 0-2 pitch, Kenley lays off a fastball up and in. That was a pitch you have to think with a purpose. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Gann working pretty quickly, brings home a breaking ball, and Kenley shows some excellent plate discipline. Laying off of it, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was a very good-looking 1-2 pitch from Cameron Gann, and I would have to think he's going to get a lot of swinging third strikes with that. Now 2-2, and a Kenley fastball, strike 3, and everyone knew that. Gann's fourth strikeout. Now he encounters Melky Mesa, the fan favorite here at Peoples Bank Park. You think of some of the faces of this franchise over the years. Corey Thurman is really the guy that comes to mind as being the face of the York Revolution for a long, long time. Now Mesa pretty much in that role. 2 outs, nobody on base. The wind and Gann's pitch, a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Cameron has been in control of this game since he came on in the 4th inning. Down and away here. And Mesa bats at a ball and a strike with Nelly Rodriguez waiting on deck. Gendel, Allemond, and the pitcher spot are doing the top of the 7th, and Brandon Fry had been warming up. We might see him. Here's the 1-1. Mesa with a ball smashed to short. One hop. Rendon spears it to his left and makes a perfect throw. A 1-2-3 inning for Gann. In the bottom half of the 6th, we've got ourselves a ball game. We go to the 7th inning. York continues to lead 5-3.
You can enjoy a night at the ballpark and help out the United Way of Lancaster County. All you have to do is spend 3 hours as an usher during a Barnstormers home game, and the ball club will donate $20 in your name to the United Way program of your choice. Be a friendly face, have fun, and raise money for your favorite local charity. To sign up, go to the LancasterBarnstormers.com website and head to the community link, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Come to the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event for great deals on our full line of vehicles, each with our advanced standard safety technology like pedestrian detection.
Lease the 2021 NX300 all-wheel drive for $359 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing.
See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg or Lancaster County.
Pre-collision system with pedestrian detection is not a substitute for safe and attentive driving practices. See owner's manual for additional limitations and details. Call 1-800-USA-LEXUS for important lease offer and pricing details. Not all customers will qualify. Offer valid in Lexus Eastern area only and ends August 2nd, 2021.
Exit Alberto Rodriguez, enter Brandon Fry, and the Barnstormers found him unhittable. Here on Tuesday, he struck out the side in order. Fry has had very mixed results against the Barnstormers this year. Overall, he's been solid for the Revs. 2-2 with 7 holds, a 4.75 ERA, 30 1/3 innings, 28 hits, 16 earned runs. He's walked 15 and struck out 25. The Barnstormers have handed him both of his losses, but like the other night, there have been times Lancaster hasn't been able to touch him. And they'll be swinging from the left side of the plate, at least to start this 7th inning, with Gendel and Allemond. Fry, the other night, faced Torrance, De La Rosa, and Hoover. So he did it against right-handed batters, striking out the side. Caleb Gendel is 0 for 3. Hit the ball pretty well back in the 4th inning. Caught on the track. I thought it was Sanford that grabbed it, but apparently Mesa did in front of him. Sanford ended up climbing the wall out there. Gendel 0 for 8 in the series. He's had a couple of hits taken away by some good defense. Fry to the plate. Gendel shows bunt and then takes a strike. It is 0-1. Alberto Rodriguez walked Ladarius Clark and let Clark steal second right away, and then Rodriguez roared back and got the side very quickly afterwards to protect the 2-run lead in the 6th inning. Now to Gendel. A foul at the plate, and Fry has him set up at 0-2. Well, the Barnstormers have not hit well in this series, but tonight, it would certainly seem to me that the bulk of it has been York's pitching. Rodriguez breaking stuff was just nasty last inning, and Fry off to a good start here. Von Schaman was very solid. Nothing in 2 due to Gendel opening up the 7th inning. Time called just for an instant here. Barnstormers have 3 shots left at getting to the York bullpen. That's outside, and Gindel will bat at 1-2. Trying to win their 4th straight, which would match their season long. The Barnstormers took 4 in a row against Southern Maryland and York, same 2 ball clubs, back June 12 to 16. Gindel pops up the 1-2. This is near the mound, and it will be Fry himself calling for it. He wanted that one all alone. Usually pitchers are supposed to clear out. 1 out. Gindel's retired. Alleman will step in. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Galen, Robinson, and Peroni have the 3 Barnstormers hits tonight, but the reason that Lancaster's in this game is that they all came in the same inning. And that was followed by an HBP and then a horrifying defensive sequence for the Revs that allowed 2 runs to score on what should have been the last out of the inning. So Fry to Alleman, and he takes another one high and inside. Alleman's got to wonder what on earth is going on. He's turned into Ron Hunter, Don Baylor. He's been hit 5 times in the last 13 games. 1 ball and nothing. Fry brings home a breaking ball and gets the outside corner. It's 1-1. York's bullpen has been tremendous so far tonight. The kick, a 1-1. Ball 2, missing outside. Barnstormers have a pinch hitter out on deck, and or it could still be Cameron Gann, actually. Ball 3 is down and away, 3-1. And that could all depend on the situation in the game. They could bring on a pinch hitter if Alleman reaches here. They might not want to waste that bat if there are 2 outs and nobody on base. You might want to see how long Gann can go. Ross thinking ahead. It's not always about the game you're playing unless it is the 7th game of the World Series. 3-1. Alleman goes after it, hits a fly ball shallow center. Coming on is Sanford for the catch. That is out number 2. Lancaster, for the 2nd straight game, not squaring up anything, and Gann will, in fact, take his own turn. It is unbelievable how quiet the Barnstormers' bats have been in this series, save for the final 2 innings here on Tuesday night, which won that game. And maybe we'll have a similar 8th and 9th inning explosion in this one. 2 outs, nobody on. Gann batting for the 2nd time. He's 0 for 1 on a ground ball. Fry to the plate, and he pops it onto the outside corner for strike 1. And the Barnstormers have hit very little sharply outside of that 4th inning. The 1 off inning for von Schaman, and the defense let him down from there. 0-1, strike 2, catching the outside corner. Gann bats at 0-2. Kelly Dugan waits on deck. Oh, you may see Fry here, Paredes the next inning, and Fuller in the 9th. The lefties, the last 2, Paredes and Fuller, had off nights on Tuesday, but don't expect to see that all the time. Breaking ball, and that is strike 3 called. Didn't look like it got down enough, but apparently it did. Nothing across in the Barnstormers' half of the 7th inning, and we're at the stretch now with York continuing to lead by a score of 5-3.
Hey, $2 bill here, a.k.a. the rare one. Problem is, I'm so rare, people just saved me. But thanks to the new Cash Vibe with Quick Cash from the PA Lottery, I'm back in business. For just $2, you can get bigger jackpots starting at $150,000. Plus Quick Cash, a chance to instantly win $2 or $6. Haha, it's good to be wanted.
Play Cash 5 with Quick Cash from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
When everyone has a different craving, Wegmans Meals to Go has it all. All right now, all in one delivery. Pizza with the kids' favorite toppings. A delicious sub made the way you love. Fresh sushi for the whole group, and so much more. It's how busy people get busy eating the meals they love. Order on the Meals to Go app or at mealstogo.com to make everyone happy. Wegmans Meals to Go. All your favorite meals, all in one delivery.
Local marching band with God Bless America. We head into the bottom of the 7th inning here at Peoples Bank Park. The York Revolution leading by 2. They led by 2 going into the 8th inning here on Tuesday night. The Barnstormers recovered and were able to take that one. Cameron Gann is out there for his 3rd full inning. Ross is definitely exploring here. He wants to see how long Gann can go. This, again, isn't all about this one game tonight, but he may be looking at converting Gann back into a starter. I mentioned earlier, Gann, for the most part, was a starting pitcher in college. And Ross thinking ahead, knowing that he may have to still make some alterations to this starting rotation. And Gann, somebody that he is contemplating having jump into a spot there. Or at least if we get some doubleheaders, at least being the swing guy at the very minimum. Nelly Rodriguez, then the pitcher spot, and Osmi Gregorio coming to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Rodriguez perfect tonight, 2 for 2 with a walk, 3 runs batted in. He has been the big man of the offense for the Revolution. It's Josue Herrera in the on-deck circle, corner infielder. He will be utilized as the pinch hitter in the pitcher spot. The Barnstormers will have to have the pitcher spot come up again in order to win this game. It won't necessarily come up in general, but for the Barnstormers to score 3 runs, that spot will have to come back around. Here's Gann's first pitch to Rodriguez and a strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. Gann's walked 1, struck out 4 in his 2 2/3 innings of work. He has been very impressive, and if nothing else comes out of tonight, the Barnstormers know that they have found an arm that is going to be useful. However, Ross decides to employ Gann in the future. Ball 1 and strike 1 on Rodriguez. Herrera waiting on deck. Bubby Rossman tunes up in the bullpen for the Revolution. There's a high drive out the left field. This one is going to bang off the wall. Robinson recovers, and he is going to hold Rodriguez to a long single. Now, Rodriguez has hit the wall in both directions tonight. His 2-run single in the second was hit to the right field corner. Jose Herrera will step in. Wellington Dotel had been 0 for 3 in the DH role tonight. Herrera steps in, batting .255 with a couple of home runs and 16 driven in. Left-handed batter all the way, facing the right-hander Gann, who was, for the first time in the game, had a ball hit hard off of him. A leadoff single by Nelly Rodriguez. We watch a balloon float past. I think you can see it in the camera frame. Just at the very, very top. It's disappeared now. Leadoff man aboard, not a steal threat. And now to Herrera. A ball is outside, 1-0 from Gann. Well, the question is Gann hit some kind of a wall in the 7th inning, or does he bounce back? Ross looking at the entire picture here. To Herrera, ball 2 is outside, 2-0. It's been a very sharp first 2 2/3 innings for the 28-year-old. Ross has to be impressed. We all have been. But now is one of those situations, it's kind of a transitional point in the game. And the Barnstormers need to keep York from scoring here. That pitch a little bit up, and Herrera bats at 3-0. So there is some very early trouble in this 7th inning. The on-deck batter is the shortstop Osmi Gregorio. 3 balls, no strikes on Herrera. Rodriguez leading from first base. Gann fires, and that gets the outside corner. We go to 3-1. Rossman warming up in one bullpen, and the Barnstormers begin to tune up a reliever as well. 3-1. Hard hit line drive. That is past Dugan and down the line into the right field corner. Rodriguez lumbering around toward third. He'll be held there. And in its second with a double is Herrera. So York has it set up with runners at second and third. Nobody out here in the 7th inning. Second straight sharply hit ball off of Gann. Now, this is climate he should be reasonably used to, being from the Texas-Louisiana border. But he's been relieving his entire pro career. He may have hit somewhat of a limit here, and Ross is going to come out and check in on him. Osmi Gregorio is 1 for 3. He struck out against Gann in the 5th inning. Second and third, nobody out. I have not been informed who's warming up in the Barnstormers bullpen. I cannot see around the edge of the seating bowl. And my guess is that it would be either Teller or Laporte. But I'm about to find out. They're able to look at a camera feed from down the left field line, and they relay who's warming up. It's Tyler Laporte. So I was definitely in the right neighborhood, figuring on Ross's plan here tonight. Second and third, Osmi Gregorio stepping in. The Barnstormers will draw the infield in. York right now has an opportunity to put a pretty decent clamp on this ball game. The Barnstormers continue to scrap, but right now, first of all, the offense has to shake off the sluggishness we've seen the last few days. They've been able to score more runs than they've had hits, but you don't know how long that can continue. First pitch is slapped foul by Gregorio out of play down the right field line, 0-1. So they've been putting runs on the board with very few hits, only 7 hits in this series. That's 1, but 2, they just got to get into a groove and stay in it. Strike 2 to Gregorio. It's 0-2. Hopefully Gann has located a reserve tank here in the 7th inning. Rodriguez at third, and they're not going to be able to turn him loose on just anything. Herrera behind him at second. No balls, 2 strikes on Gregorio with Andrew Dundon, the third baseman, waiting on deck. 5-3, York leading. It's been that way since the top of the 4th. York has not scored since the 2nd inning. They scored 4 there. 0-2, high and wide. Ball 1 on Gregorio. And Gann hasn't had to throw an extraordinary number of pitches. But again, he's been working in relief his entire pro career. And it's very hot and sticky here tonight. 1-2 pitch, Gregorio knocks another foul out of play. He came on with the bases loaded, 1 out in the 4th, got a double play on his first pitch. But he's at 46 or 47, depending on whether that last one had registered by the time I looked. 1-2. Ground ball, first base. Dugan will handle it and take it to the bag. No chance for Rodriguez to score. As I said, Rodriguez doesn't run well. They just can't turn him loose on anything. Well, the Barnstormers pick up one out there, and I believe that bat is about to be retired as well. Andrew Dundon is the batter. He has walked twice in this game. Tyler Hill, the catcher, in the on-deck circle. Barnstormers looking for Gann, hopefully to squirm out of this half inning. And the Barnstormers may be taking advantage of a bit of a boost. Well, that was pitch 48 for Cameron Gann. Second and third now with one out. The infield remains in against Dundon. Gann's pitch, and the breaking ball finds its way across for strike one. Lancaster has been out hit 9-3 in this game, but they're still lurking. No balls, one strike on Dundon. And the pitch fouled to the right off the fastball. It's 0-2. Lancaster will leave for Fairfield Properties Ballpark at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. 0-2 pitch. Into the dirt, bouncing away from Peroni, but again, it's Rodriguez at third, and they're not taking the risk. Ball 1, 2 strikes on Dundon. Leaving at 9 o'clock from Clipper Magazine Stadium will put us in the central islip area, somewhere between 12:30 and 5. You never know how you're going to hit New York City traffic on a Friday. We've had it go both ways. We've sailed pretty much right on through, or we've been, it's happened just a month and a half ago, been stuck forever. 1-2, popped up foul once more. Dundon still around at a ball and 2 strikes. It was unbelievable. We never were out of stop-and-go traffic the entire time after hitting the New York City area. Usually you break free once you get part of the way out on the island past about exit 30, but we were in stop and go all the way out to exit 53. 1-2 pitch. Dundon still hanging in there with another foul ball. This one back to the screen. Rodriguez at third and Herrera at second base. A single off the big wall and left, the double inside the first base bag to start the inning. Now one out. Dundon bats at 1-2. Gann ready to go, and it is low for ball 2. Well, a walk is certainly a better result than a base hit. A walk sets up a possible double play. A base hit makes it either 6 or 7-3. We have that open base. You don't want to add another runner. You want to get a harmless out here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dundon ready to go. So's Gann. Here's the pitch. And again, it's bounced on the right side. Dugan will make the play, and Rodriguez holds for his second time. 3 unassisted. And all Gann needs to do now is get through Tyler Hill, and he can escape this inning with York stranding 2 critical runners. The fact that Nelly Rodriguez is the lead man in this situation has really hurt York. Somebody like Darian Sanford, and it doesn't have to be all the way up to Darian's speed, would have scored by now on that last play, definitely. 2 are gone. Hill stands in. He is singled, and he has also struck out twice. Gann goes to work here. Hill takes a ball outside and low, flagged by Peroni. Ball 1, no strikes. York leading 5-3. The Barnstormers with the opportunity to get out of this 7th inning. And it could be a big lift if they do. 1 ball, no strikes to Hill. Gann is ready. The pitch is lined, deflecting off of Gann's body. He'll throw to first, and that throw gets away. A second run will score. It's 7-3 York. Gann had a ball smoked right back at him, knocked his glove off. He chased it down and then made a wild throw. So that should be an infield single and an error allowing the second run to score. York leads by 4. Gann so close to being out of the inning. Anya Holmberg and Ross Peoples come out. Gann says he's okay. He took a shot on that. The Barnstormers down by 4. Gann so close to getting out of this 7th inning. Tyler Hill with a smash back to the box. We had a very similar ball hit back to Cody Boydston on that rainy Saturday against Southern Maryland not all that long ago. And a fairly similar result, although Boydston slowed it down. I think Alleman came in to make the play, couldn't get an out in a very critical spot, and the same thing happened there. The ball rolled to a very similar place. Well, they haven't put an error up as of yet, but I would have to think that the second run scored as the ball got away. First pitch missing outside to Sanford. Peroni now asks for time. Looks like he might need some new equipment. He's going to toss that glove away. And now the error is put up out there. Rodriguez is driven in by Hill. And then E1 allowing Herrera to score. Gann had to try it. He needed the out there. He was left in really a bad spot to try and make that throw. Hill gets 1 RBI. Now to Sanford. Fly ball hits shallow, left center field, gliding over Clark for the play. That will end it, but the ball lashed back to the mound by Tyler Hill. Opens up the lead for the York Revolution. 2 runs on 3 hits and an error. 1 man was left on base. Going to the 8th inning, it is now York 7 and the Barnstormers 3.
Bummer. The Barnstormers are on the road and you're looking for something to do. Clipper Magazine Stadium still has the answer for family fun. The summer movie series returns, presented by Lidl Supermarkets on selected nights throughout the summer season. Bring the kids out to the ballpark for family-friendly movies. For just $6.50 per person, you get to sit on the outfield grass and enjoy a film on the big screen in left center field. Showtime is 7 p.m. For more information and movie listings, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com and click on the events page.
72 years and 4 generations and still going strong. We are Gockenauer Appliances in East Petersburg, and we want to be your appliance store now and into the future. We sell all the best brand names of appliances at the very best prices. We also deliver, install, and service what we sell. Shop local and with your 4th-generation hometown appliance store. Come to Gockenauer Appliances and see what a great appliance purchase experience is all about. You can even shop from home now at Gockenauers.com. Thanks for your support.
Bubby Rossman has come on in the top of the 8th inning. The Barnstormers now need an explosion. They're down 7-3. Gann was so close to being safely through that 7th inning after the single and double started it. You gotten 2 weak ground balls to first. Nelly Rodriguez unable to score from third on either one. And Tyler Hill hit a ball back to the mound. It was simply too hot to handle. So it's 7-3 now. Dugan, Robinson, and Clark will come to the plate against Bubby Rossman. The Barnstormers, as you well know, are not out of this game. They have rallied a lot in especially the 8th inning this season. This is probably the Barnstormers, in many ways, best inning of the ball game. Dugan to lead it off. You look at the numbers on the season. The Barnstormers have won 8 games where they've trailed going into the last 2 innings. Down by 4 here tonight. Dugan to get it started. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. He picked up the walk from Von Schaman back in the 5th inning. 24:09, the crowd at Peoples Bank Park on this steamy Thursday. Rossman's first pitch. Dugan looks at that down low. It is ball 1 and no strikes. Big right-hander is Rossman from La Habra, California, 6'5" and 220 pounds. Got to the high levels of Class A in the past. 1 ball and nothing. And a Dugan. The fastball is at the knees for a called strike. It is even at 1-1. Barnstormers had some success against Rossman early this year. He's 2-3 overall with a .547 earned run average. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dugan swings over the top. It is 1-2. Lancaster has had its hands full tonight with the breaking pitches from the York bullpen. The Barnstormers, for the first time really all year, have gone into a team hitting slump. They've still been able to win some games. 3 in a row coming in. Fouled, chopped back over the head of Hill. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They've won 3 in a row with only 21 hits, and that's tough to do. But they have accomplished that because their hitting has been so timely. "23 runs on 21 hits. And they've given up in those 3 games just 10. And tonight, they just haven't been able to put together enough offense at all. Dugan is spun around. That one came through, and Zawiski takes a shot. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kelly Dugan. Initially, I thought that might have glanced off of Kelly, but it missed him, though by very little. And the plate umpire, Zawiski, took the brunt of it, so he's going to dust off the plate, and as long as he doesn't keel over, I think we're fine. 2-2 on Dugan. We've had to halt the game a couple of times tonight for minor injuries. Before it was Peroni on a foul tip. Dugan up there, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Robinson and Clark will follow. The Barnstormers still have availability off the bench, but you've got to get there to that number 3 spot in the lineup. It just cleared in the last inning. Fouled away. Dugan will continue to bat it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was a circumstance where Steve Zawiski held up the fingers, and he was asking himself, how many fingers am I holding up? I don't think he got that off the face mask, though. He just got stung by it. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Dugan. Kelly trying to ignite an 8th inning uprising for the Barnstormers. Here's the wind and the 2-2. High and inside. Hill had to lunge for that. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and certainly a lengthy plate appearance for the Barnstormers' first baseman. He'll gladly take a walk here. The Barnstormers need a trigger. 3-2 on Dugan. Big Bubby Rossman ready to go. Here's the pitch, and Dugan gives this one a ride out to right field. Back on that is the right fielder Harris, and he draws it in. The Barnstormers just can't get anywhere. Pretty good swing by Dugan on the 3-2, leading off the inning. Harris able to fade back and make the catch. That brings on Trayvon, who is 1 out of 3. He scored a run back in the 6th inning after grounding a single into right field. Hard to believe the Barnstormers have been collared on just 7 hits in this series when you've watched the overall scope of this season, but I guess it happens to every club at some point. Robinson facing Rossman, and look out, it is 1-0. Barnstormers hitters feel under attack this inning. Dugan almost got it twice, and now Robinson starts off with a fastball up and in. Ball 1-0 to Trayvon. Clark waits on deck. Rossman rears back, brings home a breaking ball and misses. 2-0, the count to Robinson. Tomorrow night, 6:35, our start time from Fairfield Properties Ballpark in Central Islip. The Barnstormers and the Ducks to open a 3-game series. We'll get used to that team. 19 times the Barnstormers encounter the Ducks over the remainder of this season. It is 19 times, and the final, what will now be 53 games of the year. Robinson batting 2-1, and we don't close out the season against Long Island. High Point has the final series. Ball 3 now. Robinson with a chance to get on base. So 19 times in a span of 49 games, the Barnstormers will encounter the Long Island Ducks. Wally Beckman and the crew. 9 in Lancaster, 10 on the island. 3-1. Robinson picks up a walk. The Barnstormers have a 1-out runner on here in the 8th inning. Clark will step in. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And his 15th stolen base of the year. Oh. Robinson's wardrobe is picked up along the third base line. Clark will step in. After Clark is Peroni, and then you get Shumpert. Lancaster still has DeAza, Torrance, and Hoover available off the bench, and they are all available. Ross went with the same lineup he was going to use last night. Time called here. York's bullpen is active. They probably have Paredes warming up. But it would be a couple of batters, I would have to think, before they would go to him. It could be somebody else. We'll find out. Runner at first base with 1 out, and to Clark, a strike on the outside corner at the knees. It's 0-1. 4 Barnstormers have walked tonight. 1 has been hit. Five have struck out. But just 3 singles. Fastball is there. Clark trails 0-2. With Peroni on deck, Anthony has the only Barnstormers RBI of this game. An unbelievably quiet night and an unbelievably quiet week at the plate so far for this Barnstormers club. They still rallied to win here on Tuesday, despite only 4 hits. Clark bats 0-2. It's low. Ball 1, 2 strikes. Robinson, the base runner. He's being held, but they really don't need to. I guess time was called on that last pitch. I thought Ladarius seemed a little bit too relaxed for no balls and 2 strikes, so we stay at 0-2. And Rossman's pitch, a breaking ball. That's hit pretty well out to right center field. Long way to go. Darian Sanford. Sanford is going to pull up at the wall, and the walls will not contain it. Ladarius Clark going to the Ladarius Clark zone in right center field for a 2-run homer, and suddenly it's 7-5 on Clark's 10th home run of the season. It is amazing how much power Clark has to that direction. It's not an easy poke to leave this ballpark to right center field. It is Isaac Sanchez warming up, a right-hander going in the bullpen now for the York Revolution. And the Barnstormers are back to within 2. Second straight game, 5 runs on 4 hits. Clark, for playing only part of the time, has been unbelievably productive. Peroni stands in, 1 for 3, and he'll take a ball from Rossman. 1 ball and no strikes. 121 at-bats for Clark and 39 runs batted in. Stop to think about that. You have a normal season, 500 at-bats. You're looking at 150 runs batted in plus at the rate Clark goes. Strike taken by Peroni. It is 1-1. Lancaster within 2. So consider that striking distance. Peroni batting with Shumpert on deck. And you'll get to turn the lineup over. Rendon, Gindel, Allemond at the very minimum for the 9th inning. High, sailing off the tip of Hill's glove and getting past. Anthony Peroni batting at 2 balls and a strike. Third home run for Clark in his last 9 at-bats, and he has driven in a boatload of runs. 2-1. Now to Peroni, just trying to restart this inning. Fastball finds its way to the outside corner. 2-2. The Barnstormers with the tying run in the on-deck circle. Rossman working to keep it there. I think if the Barnstormers get one more base runner, Sanchez will come in. Peroni up there 2-2. Rossman to the plate, and he swings that past the outside corner. It is gone to full on the Barnstormer receiver. And yes, once again, we've cleared the 3-hour mark, and we're just in the top of the 8th inning. This streak may end at Long Island. The Ducks have the best pitching in the league. Decent offense, but not explosive. Peroni goes reaching. That might have been ball 4. Second out of the inning. Rossman with his first strikeout, and Nick Shumpert will try and keep it going for Rendon. But as I said, at the very minimum, you get Rendon, Gindel, and Allemond up in the top of the 9th, and hopefully still trailing by just 2. Shumpert 0 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch. It's been a while now since the 10-game hitting streak. Barnstormers have only had 2 streaks of 10 or more all season, which is amazing when you stop to think about the high-octane offense that this club has produced. Gindel had a 12-game streak, Shumpert a 10, and that's been it. Some 7s and 8s in there. Outside and low to Shumpert. Ball 1, no strikes. Rendon loosening up in the on-deck circle. York 7, Lancaster 5 in the 8th inning. 2 outs, nobody on. And now those 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th after Gann almost got out of it. Looks so big. Shumpert takes a slider for a strike. It is 1-1. 3 runs, 1 earned off on Shaman in 5 innings. Rodriguez gave up a walk. That was it. Fry got the side in order. Rossman has given up 2, but he hasn't really endangered the lead. Swing and a miss by Shumpert. Now a ball and 2 strikes. The walk and the home run, and the Barnstormers get closer, but it's not like a 4 or 5 base runner inning with 2 runs scoring. And a Shumpert, strike 3 called. Back-to-back Ks for Bubby Rossman. He is through the 8th inning. The Barnstormers do get closer on the home run by Clark. 2 runs on a hit with no errors, nobody left on base. The bottom of the 8th coming up, and the Barnstormers almost certainly have to put a 0 on the board. It is York 7 and Lancaster 5.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Bottom half of the 8th inning, and it will be Tyler Laporte coming on for the Barnstormers to take on the Revs. York has not seen Laporte yet. Hard-throwing right-hander whose delivery got him into trouble with the umpiring crew back on Friday night. The balk came on what it appeared to be the final out in the top of the 8th, and it looked like we were going to go to the bottom of the 8th in a 6-6 tie. Instead, the balk allowed the 7th run to score. Then Michael Baca singled. Ruby Silva hit a 2-run homer, and before you could catch your breath, Southern Maryland was up 10-6, and the Barnstormers were not able to recover from that deficit. Laporte will work to keep the Barnstormers within a pair here. Right-hander from Louisiana. Just 24 years of age. He's listed 6'1", 175. He seems bigger than that. Left-hander Jim Fuller warms up in the bullpen. He leads the league in saves. He's getting ready on the York side. At first, it is Laporte against York. They are going to see some fastballs, I would think. Tyler ready to go. First pitch to Harris. Zip to the outside corner. It is 0-1. Gann worked 3 2/3 innings, and you have to really like what you saw. Gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, with a walk and 4 strikeouts. He also was charged with a balk along the way. Laporte now onto the outside corner again from that 3/4 angle. It is 0-2 on Harris. Third appearance for Tyler. 2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs with a walk and 4 strikeouts. But again, the hits and the runs came after it looked like he was going to be out of the inning. 0-2, and a Harris way outside, not close enough to be tempting. That is ball 1. Clark has drawn the Barnstormers back to within 2. Rendon, Gindel, Alamund in the pitcher's spot. Scheduled in the top of the 9th, and they will get Fuller unless the score drastically changes here. Grounded to Alamund. He will make the play to his left. Harris retired for the first out. Jack Kenley will step in. A couple of hits and a walk for him. He has scored 2 of the York runs tonight. The Barnstormers will have a shot if Laporte is able to put up the 0 here. Gann so close to getting out of that 7th inning, so painfully close. And then the liner by Hill got through him. He scrambled to make the play. It would be a 1-run game if he had held on to the baseball, but you can't fault him for trying. Foul ball back, it is 0-1. He had to make the attempt to get the out at first. Kenley bats at 0-1 against Laporte. Tyler with the hesitation in the delivery. Ball is low, it's 1-1, and that is what cost him the balk the other night. He did it out of the windup, but at a certain level, you can't do that with runners on base. There were men at second and third, so you're pitching out of the full wind there, not out of the stretch. 1-1 offering, foul ball back to the screen. Pretty good looking cut made by Kenley. Ball 1 and 2 strikes. Laporte out of Southern University. We've had so many pitchers this year. For the most part, freshly out of college. It's their first pro experience, and some of them have answered the bell as well as you can expect in a situation like that, just being thrown to the wolves and asking you to fend for yourself. 1-2, swing and a miss. Down goes Kenley. 2 up and 2 down in the lower half of the 8th. Melky Mesa will come to the plate. And slowly but surely, through all of these auditions, all the guys that have come and gone this year, Ross has built himself a better pitching staff. It's still not where he wants it, but that picture is improving. 2 outs, base is empty. Mesa the batter, he's 1 for 4. Laporte ready to go. The hesitation and the first pitch, Melix went too far, and it's strike 1. The pitch ended up in the dirt and skipping past Peroni. 0-1 to Mesa. Nelly Rodriguez is on deck. Rodriguez is perfect tonight. He would be the star of the game for the York Revolution. He would have to be. 3 for 3, 3 runs driven in, 1 run scored. To Mesa 0-1. He goes to pull the trigger and ends up jumping out of the way as Laporte runs one back in on him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler Laporte trying to get his ball club back up in a hurry. With a shot in the 9th inning. Here's the motion and the 1-1. Foul to the screen. Mesa's up there to ball and 2 strikes. You have to like Laporte's stuff. He just made that one mistake on Friday night. It led to the ejection of Ross Peoples in that situation. I guess Ross felt he had to go to bat for his team. 1-2. That swings past the outside corner. Mesa able to stay away from it. Ball 2 and 2 strikes. But again, here's a young man just out of the collegiate ranks facing a guy who's been to the major leagues in Mesa, albeit a brief stay up at the top. It's been that way all year. Here's a 2-2. Fastball is high. There are a few circumstances where it goes the other way, where you've got a young hitter and an ex-major league pitcher, but not as often as we've seen in the past. 3-2 on Mesa. Laporte with the pitch of decision coming. It's on its way. It's a breaking ball, and it hits Melky. Or was it fouled off the bat handle? It got the bat handle. 3-2. May have gotten some of both. Mesa's still up there with a full count. 2 outs, nobody on base. The Barnstormers have been out hit in this game 10-4. If you're looking at the earned run count, it's 6-3 in favor of York. 3-2 to Mesa. Laporte a long time with that leg dangling. The pitch elevated to right field. Gindel is there, pretty much doesn't have to move. He'll make the catch, and Tyler Laporte with a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom half of the 8th. So you like the way this bullpen is beginning to shape up for the Barnstormers. Gann looked terrific tonight. Tyler Laporte throws a perfect inning. And they've kept the Barnstormers in the game. Now it's up to the bats in the top half of the 9th. Rondon, Gindel, and Allemund. And they will be facing the left-hander Jim Fuller, who makes his way in from the bullpen. It is York 7 and Lancaster 5.
When everyone has a different craving, Wegmans Meals to Go has it all. All right now, all in one delivery. Pizza with the kids' favorite toppings. A delicious sub made the way you love. Fresh sushi for the whole group, and so much more. It's how busy people get busy eating the meals they love. Order on the Meals to Go app or at mealstogo.com to make everyone happy. Wegmans Meals to Go. All your favorite meals all in one delivery.
Like craft beers? Then the best place to be in Lancaster is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, celebrate baseball or just a night with your friends at the Broken Bat Deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat features more than 20 local craft breweries, plus product from a local winery. Food including Otto's Meatballs is sold off a pub-style menu. So get together, hang out with your friends, or make some new ones. Enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
So here we are, the Barnstormers facing Jim Fuller in the top of the ninth, and this has been a common meeting over the course of this season. The Barnstormers have seen a lot of the lefty. Fuller, the former Duck and Bee, is on the season 1-2 with a 4.44 ERA and 15 saves. Cleo Luis Rendon starts off the ninth. Cleo is 0 for 3 here tonight. Fuller getting another shot at the Barnstormers. This is the 9th appearance for him. He has saved 3 against Lancaster, but he's also blown 3. First pitch to Rendon, grounded to the shortstop. Easy play for Osmi Gregorio, and one very fast out for Jim Fuller. Well, the Barnstormers down by 2, have just 2 outs left of them. Caleb Gindel will step in. Gindel still hitless in the series, amazingly, after 4 straight multi-hit games. He's 0 for 9 here in York, and generally he does fairly well here. Tonight he is grounded out twice, fly to the warning track and left, and popped up to the pitcher's mound. Lancaster down by 2. Blake Alleman is on deck. He generally has been toxic to Revs pitching, so you want to get Gindel on board here. The pitch is low. It is ball 1. Rendon retired, first pitch swinging. The Barnstormers right where they were 2 nights ago, 5 runs on 4 hits. That night it was enough. Tonight it is not. The Barnstormers need some more here. Gindel with a swing and a miss, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Gindel swings, drives that to the gap in right center field. Hitless no more in this series. He's going to round and bolt for second. He will be in with his 17th double of the season, and that will bring on Alleman as the potential tying run. Alleman cracked a 2-run homer for insurance off of Fuller just 2 nights ago. Well, the Barnstormers trying to pull it off in the late innings once again, just like they did Tuesday. 2 spot in the 8th. They've got the tying run to the plate here in the 9th inning. Alleman is 0 for 3 with a walk in this one. On deck is the pitcher's spot. And that might be situational where the Barnstormers go. First pitch strike to Blake. It is 0-1. The 39th extra base hit of the season for Caleb Gindel. Can't keep him hitless for that long. Alleman batting 0-1. Fuller ready to go. The pitch, ground ball to third. 1 hop to Dundon. He checks the runner, which he didn't really need to do. Second out, and the Barnstormers will go to the bench. It's going to be Alejandro De Aza, the selection here to bat as the last hope for the Barnstormers. And Ross trusts De Aza so much that he goes to him even though there's a lefty on the mound. Alejandro steps in. He's been cool at the plate recently. And you've got another left-hander in Dugan to follow. 1 out left to get for the York Revolution tonight. The Barnstormers have the tying run at the plate. Two outs, runner at second, and the slider misses the outside corner. It's ball 1-0 on Alejandro. De Aza capable of hitting the ball any depth in any direction right now. It'll be interesting to see where this one goes. 1-0, swing and a miss. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. He was going to be rested last night. It was needed. And again, Ross did not change his batting order. De Aza at 303, 5 home runs, 42 driven in. Fuller working to him at 1-1, and this is a fly ball out to left, not at any great depth, and Mesa is there to make the play for the final out. The Barnstormers go down tonight. This rain-shortened series ends up a split. We'll make up the game from last night in mid-September. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left in the top of the 9th. We'll be back to wrap this one up in just a moment. Our final score this evening, the York Revolution 7 and the Lancaster Barnstormers 5.
Hey, $2 bill here, aka the rare one. Problem is, I'm so rare, people just saved me. But thanks to the new Cash Vibe with Quick Cash from the PA Lottery, I'm back in business. For just $2, you can get bigger jackpots starting at $150 grand. Plus Quick Cash, a chance to instantly win $2 or $6. Haha, it's good to be wanted.
Play Cash 5 with Quick Cash from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
At Clipper Magazine Stadium, we have hot dogs and popcorn, peanuts, soda, and nachos. But what if, say, you are only 3 months old and mom wants to have a night out and watch the Barnstormers? Well, thanks to May Grant Obstetrics and Gynecology, the littlest of Stormer fans now have a place to go for dinner during the game. Tots can take mom to the Little Sluggers dugout behind Section 13 at the stadium for a comfortable private feeding experience. A brightly painted room with comfortable furniture and TVs tuned to the game, it is the perfect spot for baby and mom during a night at the ballpark.
York bounces back to win tonight. Barnstormers' lead in the War of the Roses now stands at 10 games to 8 with 7 meetings still to come. We'll have a 3-game series down the road at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and we come back here in the middle of September for what will be a 4-game, 3-day series at Peoples Bank Park. Tonight, York 7 runs on 10 hits with 4 errors and 8 left. And the Barnstormers 5 runs on 5 hits tonight with 1 error and 7 runners left on base. Duke Van Schamen, 4-5 on the season, gets the win tonight. 3 of those wins have come at Lancaster's expense. The loss to Augie Silk. Augie falls to 2-4. Jim Fuller with the save, his 16th of the year. We saw 1 home run tonight. The red-hot Ladarius Clark with the 3rd in his last 9 at-bats, his 10th home run on the season. That came with a man aboard in the 8th inning. 3 hours, 20 minutes, the time of our contest tonight in front of 2,409 at Peoples Bank Park. York struck for 5 runs in the first 2 innings. It was 3 straight singles in the first. Jack Kenley to center, Melky Mesa to right center, sending Jack Kenley to third. And then Nelly Rodriguez with a base hit pulled into left, driving in Kenley for the 1-0 lead. Silk struck out both Wellington Dotel and Osmi Gregorio to get out of the first inning with no additional damage. The second inning was a bit messier. 4 runs came across. Andrew Dundon led off with a base on balls, and he was singled to third by Tyler Hill. He would score on a wild pitch. Darian Sanford popped up a bunt. That was actually before the wild pitch. And then Harris walked. Kenley singled off the glove of the first baseman, Kelly Dugan. That made it a 3-0 ball game as Hill came across the plate. And then Harris and Kenley executed a double steal, putting them in scoring position for Nelly Rodriguez, and Rodriguez planted a long single off the wall in the right field corner, knocking in 2, and York had a 5-0 lead. The Revs threatened again in the third with a leadoff double by Osmi Gregorio. Silk shut that down. Lancaster got back in the game in the top half of the 4th inning with 3 runs. The first one they earned themselves as Blake Galen led off with a single into left center field. 1 out later, Trayvon Robinson grounded a single into right, and Anthony Peroni hit a line drive base hit just out of the reach of the second baseman Kenley. That scored Galen and made it a 5-1 game. Robinson went to third on that play. And then Peroni stole second, which was a gamble, his first stolen base of the year. The pitch was way inside on Nick Schumpert, and Hill couldn't get off a throw. Then Schumpert was hit by a pitch, and the Barnstormers loaded the bases with 2 outs. Clay Luis Rendon hit a ground ball to the second baseman, Kenley, who went the short route to his shortstop, Gregorio, who fumbled the ball. And then they still had a play on Rendon at first, and Gregorio missed the target and threw the ball past Rodriguez. 2 runs scored for the Barnstormers. It was 5-3. But the Barnstormers couldn't pick up on the break. Gindel flied out to fairly deep left center field to close out the 4th inning. The Barnstormers then got in huge trouble in the bottom of the 4th, loading the bases on walks with 1 out. And that is when Cameron Gann came on and took over for Silk. And on the very first pitch, Gann got a double play out of Wellington Dotel to get out of there. And Gann was very strong for the next 2 innings. However, the 7th didn't go quite as well for Cameron. He gave up a leadoff single off the left field wall to Nelly Rodriguez, and then pinch hitter Josue Herrera slapped a double inside the first base bag down the line. York had runners at second and third with nobody out. Gann almost got out of it. Osmi Gregorio grounded to first. Rodriguez, who doesn't run terribly well, held at third. And then Dundon did exactly the same thing, and Rodriguez held at third. That brought on Tyler Hill. Gann had a chance to get out of the inning. Hill hit a bullet back to the mound, and Gann was unable to latch onto it. You can't fault him for that. The ball bled through. Cameron scrambled after it. Still had a chance at the out, but he would have had to have gotten off a beautiful off-balance throw, and he missed Dugan, the ball getting away, and it was York's turn to score 2 runs on a play like that. It made it 7-3. The Barnstormers were able to climb back in the 8th inning. Bubby Rossman walking Trayvon Robinson with 1 out, and then Ladarius Clark unloaded another blast to right center field. I am going to be interested to see if Clark can get a ball out to right center field at Southern Maryland, because he very well might. And you hardly ever see a right-handed batter homer in that direction. We watched Ryan Harvey do it several years ago. I think Clark has the next best shot to do so. That made it 7-5. The Barnstormers from there on only managed a double in the 9th inning by Caleb Gindel. Jim Fuller shutting it down tonight as the Barnstormers fall by the score of 7-5 here this evening. Taking a look at the rest of the Atlantic League scoreboard. In the bottom of the 9th, Southern Maryland with an 11-0 lead over the Long Island Ducks. Blake Bivens is working on the shutout. He, right now, might be the best starting pitcher in the Atlantic League. The Barnstormers saw it twice in a row. They didn't get much done against Bivens. Pete Andrelzik worked one of those games with me. He said, this isn't the Barnstormers, it's Bivens. He's got tremendous stuff. We saw it again last weekend. The Barnstormers were able to pull that one out with the late surge against the bullpen. And Bivens doing it again tonight to the Ducks. He has a shutout in the bottom of the 9th. West Virginia retakes sole possession of first place in the South with a 7-3 win over Gastonia. And High Point leads Lexington by the score of 8-6. Everything tightens up around the Atlantic League. Both the second half race as Southern Maryland and York pick up a game on the division-leading Barnstormers. And the crazy wild card race has also narrowed. The Barnstormers lead it, but they've got 3 teams hot on their heels. Lancaster goes down tonight 7-5. Join us tomorrow at 6:30 from Fairfield Properties Ballpark in Central Islip on Long Island. The Barnstormers taking on the first half champion Long Island Ducks at 6:35 tomorrow night. Niall Ball will be making the start for the Lancaster Barnstormers. He is 1-2. His mound opponent, right-hander Vin Mazzaro, 1-3, going for the Ducks. So join us tomorrow night. Until then, for our video producer Ryan Cortazzo, for all the cast and crew at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and our presenting sponsor, Gockenauer Appliances of East Petersburg, I'm Dave Collins. Have a great evening, everyone. And come next Tuesday with Long Island following us back to Clipper Magazine Stadium, we'll see you at the ballpark.